I say, yo, y'all already know who it is, man. It's Chris Jackson, Prince Up Top, last real nigga alive. It's a live pull-up session. I got my homie in the building. You know what I'm saying? I would go ahead and run the accolades, but she got her team here, so we're gonna get straight to it. Go ahead and introduce yourself, gangster.
Man, I'm Poussey from the motherfucking Bay. Young, flying, I'm fresh and I'm fitted, you feel me? Ask the bitch, cause she always stay with it.
Fusion Award nominated, top 5 hip hop female.
Of the year.
Project of the year nominated.
Go ahead, get that. Poussey from the Bay out now. All
Video
platforms.
of the year nominated.
All platforms. You can catch me in the movie City Beautiful as well, you feel me? You have to know I got the gang in the building. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Boss hippie, man. You know what time it is. Big cuz, the little cuz right here, man. Whole lot of hustle, man. Shit, man.
Big time in the building. Yo, this is the new sound of hip hop right here. Y'all get down? Because we do.
Big Banks. When I met Poussey from the Bay, she was going fucking crazy. Margaret.
Hey, so I see you here with your team. That's always a plus. It's always good to have a nice supporting cast. Not really to, go too much into it, but I want to kind of, talk about the collaborative process with all of your team here. I know you got an executive producer and a producer sitting next to you. Talk about how that relationship kind of came together.
Well, for one, I'm lucky. Not only is, my producer, he's my blood cousin, like my older cousin. Real life.
Nepotism.
Real life.
Nepotism is real. She's great.
Him being in the Army, you gotta have your bros, and shout out to the veterans out there. He introduced me to big time right here. He just welcomed me in like a little niece, a little sister, like I'm back, super protective over me, always been there. He the first one to put the camera in my hand too, you know what I'm saying? So, gotta have him everywhere I go.
So I definitely dig that. But we got ladies in the back too. Go ahead and give me the whole team. Like, go ahead and tell me how that relationship kind of spilled over to having a nice supporting cast.
It's like you under a big umbrella, you gotta attach the stems to keep the umbrella together, you know what I'm saying? So, when I met Big Time, he introduced me to his wife. You feel me? Big Banks. You feel me? Go check her music out too. Then I end up being blessed, my manager Margaret right here in the back. She take care of everything, make sure everything's nice going, keep everything static on the road, you know what I'm saying? So it really is just like a big umbrella and everything falling into place. It's like a big family tree, if you ask me.
Like, I'm really, really surprised, one, because I'm from this city, so I've seen a lot in regards to artists, coming up in this game and really trying to be established. But the biggest thing that they're always missing is that team, that support system, and the fact that you have that with you. Not only that, you have a label mate that's also fire. You already have like the semantics that you need to kind of start a mini label. So that's always a plus, So I definitely like hats off, salute to you. What made you come to the point where you felt like you need a team? Because a lot of people know, you think they can do this shit by themselves.
Right. Yes, but well, I feel that. Well, to be honest, in the beginning, I really wasn't even rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really started that stuff when I started hanging out with my cousin. Way more when I got older. So that's really how it really came about. Like, in order to have a dream coming up, you need to have a team. You can't do this stuff by yourself. It's a lot of things you can't even, it's not black and white. You need to see this person's vision, this person's point of view, and I'm still young and I'm still coming up, so I gotta take a lot of advice from everybody else. You feel me? And I'm very good with listening, paying attention, and getting guidance.
That's good, because a lot of times egos, envy, jealousy always comes between something great when it starts to move and you got those parts working for you. Talk about your experience when it comes down to you first actually taking this music shit seriously. Like, let's get into the point where you said, you know what, you got a supporting cast, you got everything you need. You said this your cousin, you've been fucking with him since they like give me the switch. What happened?
I think honestly, seeing like the way he been working, seeing his work ethic. At first, I was like a little shadow. Then when I actually, you get the little adrenaline. When you first touch the mic, to be honest, I didn't like the way I sounded at first. I hated it. But once I got on it and I did it again, I started learning my voice. Then I just kept doing it. I just got addicted to it. You can't make me do it. I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. If I have a problem or something and I can't say it to somebody, I put it in the music. It's really like medicine. It's not just a hobby. I became addicted to it.
That's a good fucking answer. I ain't even gonna hold you. I like the way you're driving, your tenacity, and the way that you approach a lot of your records. In your music, you talk a lot about the Bay, or California, LA, the whole, that Bay, that kind of lifestyle. Is that like your hometown? Is that where you're from?
Definitely. Born and raised in East Palo Alto, a very small city, but it's right in the heart of the Bay, you feel me? That's where I'm from, 94303. And I just want to bring the Bay to the Bay.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
Hey,
Yeah, that's hard.
Hey, that's what we
Hey,
like.
look, so now we in the Bay, right? So I imagine, when it comes down to being an artist, everybody has a story. Does your story start in the Bay, or does it start in the Bay?
My story, of course, gonna start exactly where I'm from. So that's what, it helped shape and mold kind of who I am and help me to become better than who I was before. So now, starting from the Bay, I am Poussey now, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't Poussey back in the Bay. I was PJ, you know what I'm saying? So now I am Poussey, so it's a whole different beginning. Relearning myself and everything.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up PJ. That's why I want to kind of touch on a little bit. Now, PJ, that's you. That's before this. Let's go there a little bit. Talk about PJ. Who was PJ?
PJ was...
Or who was PJ, rather?
It's still parts of me, you know what I'm saying? PJ was a turned up individual. I used to throw parties all the time, used to get lit. I love to play basketball, you know what I'm saying? That's really my passion. I love to play basketball. In case y'all didn't know, that's a fun fact about me. I love to play basketball. Come and see me anytime you want to.
Oh, shit. We can call out. Let's go.
Anybody can get it.
That's real.
Bring them out.
Right.
I'm a little nasty in that, you know what I'm saying?
Blue team, we need that rematch.
That's real.
For real.
Okay, so you mentioned basketball now. Was that something that you kind of like was your dream before doing this rap shit? Was you that nice?
Yeah.
You actually had like some letters and shit going on?
Yeah, I played all over the world. I played at Mission College, got to travel all over the world. We went to nationals, played state championships, played on TV, been in front papers and newspapers before, you know what I'm saying?
Talk that
A
shit.
little something light, you know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
A little something light. My nickname in basketball is PJ So Fresh, you know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Okay, now, aside from that, you're giving me the glamour side of, PJ. You're giving me the basketball, schoolgirl. Yeah, that's cool. But give me PJ. Like, who was PJ before this rap shit really kicked off and this shit, started to take flight and he really started taking this shit serious? And this is before Poussey. Like, give me PJ. I want to hear your story. Like, what made you make that transition and say, you know what? I gotta, get rid of PJ and become Poussey. Like, give me that.
I was young, very immature, a young, wild kid thinking they had a lot of entitlement, thinking you could do whatever you wanted, I did grow up in the hood, but I wasn't like one of them real dumb kids who get in trouble. Like everybody, of course, you get suspended from school and stuff. I was very hard-headed. People really couldn't tell me what to do. I thought I ran the world, really didn't listen to guidance like that, The worst I ever got in trouble is, punishment. So it's just like, you getting your ass whipped from my mama? You're gonna get tired of that. You're gonna want to get your act right. You really gonna want to get your act right. I guess I just got tired of getting in trouble, tired of being immature, being irresponsible as a young adult. You get tired of struggling. Everything is not glitter and glamour and gold. You really gotta work up. Like at one point, I had to work 3 jobs, had to work 2 jobs. Like really still working, really trying to make something for myself. and not having to depend on your mother or something. I really had to go out of that.
Oh man, that's real. Now, you do mention, you know, in a lot of your music, your lifestyle as far as your sexual orientation. Now, with you being PJ now, did you start seeing like you were becoming a different person because of your sexual orientation now that you was experimenting more, you was going through a different lifestyle? Or was this something that, because you in your album, you actually talk about, you know, the story where you sit down and tell your mom, you know, about you coming out. Now, around that same process, is that where you're still trying to figure out who PJ was, or this was Poussey? Like, this is where, okay, well, my life is different now, you know, and you got to accept that.
Let me give you a funny story. It really started early, like in preschool, you know how people used to play house and stuff. So if you was a boy and you was my friend, you tried to challenge me and say you was daddy, I had to be your grandpa. And if you wanted to be grandpa, I had to be your great-great-grandfather, you know what I'm saying? So like, I've always been a tomboy, I always grew up with older boy cousins, always outside playing sports. I used to be in Chicago, used to get in trouble, walking outside with my shirt off. My uncle like, what the fuck is you doing? You a girl. And I, my bad, you know, I'm just, you feel me? So I've been like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's really,
Shirt off.
yes, the shirt was off.
Yeah.
It was cold outside too, but I ain't even care. I thought I was little Bow Wow, little Romeo, somebody. I thought I was a boy, Damon.
No games.
Really, true life stuff. But like for me, like coming out to my mom, it was like, you know, in high school especially, you know, you always had a girl best friends coming over, you know. I played that role a lot of times, you know, had my sleepovers. And then one time I was like, dang, I'm tired of feeling like this. It's like a real uneasy feeling, not knowing what somebody gonna say when you want to tell them. Mind you, it's your mom. So it was super hard. But I said it in the song, you feel me? Like, take a picture. Like, I was in the parking lot with my mom, and then I just looked at her, and I was like, Mom, something I gotta tell you. She was like, she about to tell me, you know what I'm saying, like real life stuff. And I was like, well, I like girls. And she looked at me like, nigga, I've been waiting for you to tell me this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't even mad. She looked at me and I was like, yeah, you knew the whole time. But she just, one thing she told me, and I never ever forget it. She said, be careful. And I'm like, why? I got this. She said, because girls are bitches. I understand that now. Back then I didn't. I still roll with that.
So at this point, you full-fledged, you come out now. A lot of songs that you have on this, the project Poussey from the Bay. Make sure y'all go and grab that, by the way, on all media platforms. But you talk about this pimping shit, you know what I'm saying? And I know some pimps personally, you feel me? And it is a culture, it's a lifestyle. Can you kind of talk about how you got into that lifestyle?
I actually can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a new vibe, a new, you know, thing. Go ahead, get that album, Poussey from the Bay, out now, and Cat City Beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Really on some positive stuff. If you ain't vibing, then you can't fuck with me, because I'm on some new turned up shit right now.
Okay, so now we Poussey, right? So when do you make the transition to come to the city?
When? It's when you really want a new beginning, because everything you was doing wasn't really working. You know, it's one thing to work hard, but it's another thing to work hard and actually see results, get nominated for awards. You know what I'm saying? Not one, not two, but three. From your first album. That shit'll make you want to change something. It'll make you want to
I just stepped in some pool.
But nah, it'll really make you want to change something. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you just start getting it, I mean, don't get big-headed either, because you always got to remain humble. I feel like I'm very humble, you know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for being here. And I'm only going to go harder.
Okay, so now once you come to the city, I know it doesn't happen immediately. Talk a little bit about the process and how it initially started, because I know you said your cousin actually kind of convinced you to kind of rap. Talk about how that kind of came up and how that came about.
So like, when I would go with him to the studio and stuff, or I see him doing something, I'll be, you know, he'd be making a beat and I'll be playing around, you know, I'll be saying stuff little here and there. You know, he honestly saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Like, you know, you playing around, man, like, when you get with a family get together, you always gonna have that one cousin, especially me, drinking, thinking they becoming a rapper. And all of a sudden, you become a rapper because you stick with it and you master your craft and you keep on doing it, bro. Like, that's really how it happened. Like, he was like, get in here. And at first, I'm like, hell nah. You know, you really taking me serious right now? I was like, bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But you're like, nah, you gonna get in here and do it. So, in the beginning, I'm shaky, but I feel like I'm getting better at my delivery too.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. Like you nice with that shit. We did the album review, and a lot of the joints on there, which you had features on, which no disrespect, you know, but I didn't. It wasn't even warranted a feature, you know. So I mean, you definitely, you know, you're definitely honing your craft. Talk a little bit about the writing process because I know we're moving to new energy and new light in the music. Talk about how the writing process is now for you.
I mean, in the beginning, it was kind of a little shaky because, you know, I didn't really see myself as a rapper. But now I try to relate to every single song that I'm writing about. So I like to, you know, when I write something, sometimes I just write down words because I don't like being stuck or feeling stuck at all. I'll write down words and I'll rap around those words. You know, I can't just come on here and say I just be punching stuff. Now I like to write it. I like to perfect it, organize my words, and spit the cadence to it. So it really, some songs it might take me longer. Some songs I could do just like this.